Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Courtney. I just wanted to show you guys a quick little tool that I built. Since this coronavirus stuff is outbroke, I haven't been able to actually complete my CCIE lab, so I had to kind of pick up something else to pick up that void, fill that void of knowledge that I been lacking. And one of the things that I started doing is actually I started options trading, and been pretty good at it. But it has its ups and downs. So I decided to write a little tool to assist me in my strategy. So this tool here is essentially uh, a pretty much a contract manager, if you will. What it'll do, it'll actually keep track. It serves as a log as well as a calculator for me. So when I'm going in and looking at different option contracts, whether they're calls or puts, I can go in and automatically calculate what my stop losses are, and my stop price and my target price based off of my percentages, what my risk reward ratio is, and then also I can keep track of the trade by looking at the adjusted gain percentage as well. So I'll just walk you guys through the app. So essentially, the idea is you input information on this side here, which it'll have my contract ID, the contract type, which is it'll be a call or a put, the entry price, which is the price that I paid per contract, um, the quantity, the amount of contracts that I'll purchase, the percentage, entry stop percentage, and the target profit percentage, and the gain percentage. So, and then what it'll do is actually have it hooking to a MongoDB backend, and it'll actually persistently keep track of this stuff so I can actually access this application for multiple workstations and be able to make my trades as well as look at from a high level view on what my positions look like without actually having to go into my actual brokerage account. So ideally, I wrote this using Python Flask with the basis of being a single page application, and in the background it's actually using JavaScript to interact with the API that I built using Flask as well. So Flask is serving the main web page that you see here, and on the back end for the different functions that I got going on in the actual application, it's talking to an API that I built, a REST API that I built, that's actually giving me my calculations or whatever the case is. And I actually deployed it. It's on a production, I guess you could call it a production server on my home network. It's essentially like a staging server, but I use Docker to actually deploy the application. It's kind of been my go-to for most of the apps that I've been building. But I'll show you guys how it works. So just for shits and giggles, we'll do test contract, right? We'll say this is a call. Let's say that the contract, it'll be $5 per contract. And if you guys don't know a lot about option contracts, usually when you buy an option contract, you're buying essentially the right to own 100 shares of that particular stock. Um, so and then depending on the type of contract, you have calls and puts. Obviously calls are for if you think the price is going to go up, and puts is if you think the price is going to go down. But essentially, the background is that once I put this information in, say that I'll get 5 contracts. Say that my stop percentage, and this is essentially an auto calculation of my stop loss based off of that entry price and the quantity that I bought. And this will calculate my stop price for me. So say that I want to work a 20% stop loss, and then my take profit will be 25%. I'll go ahead and add that to the database, and as you'll see, it updates there. What's nice about it, like I said, is that based off of my $5 entry price, it'll tell me based off of my 20% stop loss, I have a $4 stop price. My actual stop loss will be at $500 if I was to hit this $4 price, and my target price would be $6.02, and my target profit would be $625 with a max cost of $2,500 for the entire position. And this is a risk reward ratio that I like to play around. I like to stay within 1.25 is usually where I like to go. So 20% stop loss, 25% target profit, and that's basically based off of my actual my target or whatever I see in the price action for the actual stock itself. Part of that, like I said, one of the things that I used to struggle with is as I see my option contracts, my contract positions move, Trying to calculate or recalculate my stop loss based off of that percentage of gain became a bit of a pain in the butt to do, especially if I'm playing multiple positions. So like here I have a gain percentage, and so I can update it to say 10%. And so based off of that, what it'll do is it'll give me a new adjusted stop price with an adjusted stop loss. And it'll tell me my new stop loss will be $303, and my adjusted profit loss based off of my target percentage, it'd be 200. Well, based off of my gain percentage, is technically $250. So at a 10% gain from my original position, I'm up $250. Like I said, the app is fully interactive, so I can go through and say that I want to get rid of this actual contract here. I can delete existing contracts, and then the database will update automatically. And then if I refresh the page, I can go back and actually load that contract in and readjust it based off of whatever I see going on in the actual position itself. Um, yeah, so one thing I'm going to tell people is, during this time of lockdown, definitely take this time, learn a new skill, do something that you haven't done before. Um, this is the perfect time to do so. A lot of people are, going through a lot of things, so, you know, especially in the technology field, this would be a great opportunity for people to, take the time to advance yourself and, strengthen your skills when you can't do what you normally do at work. And like I said, this is all because I can't take my CCIE lab, which sucks. So because of that, I wrote this little application. So I wanted to show you guys, how I've been maintaining and tracking my actual option contracts based off of this little calculator that I wrote. Um, yeah, if you guys have any questions or if you want to know anything more about the API itself, the Git repository is private right now, but if you do want access to it, I don't mind adding you to it. Maybe you can help me expand it. I'm not the best front end developer, but the back end stuff I'm pretty good at. So, um, you know, definitely drop some hints, tips, or anything like that that you think can make this any better. All right, thanks.